Das Hoy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another diecast review. And today we have another 24 Hours of the Nurburgring winner. This is the 2018 Porsche 911 GT3R of Manthey Racing. And let's go ahead and take a look at the car in its beautiful box. Fantastic presentation of the car. You can see on the back of the box there is a photo of the car during the night. And then we also see the diecast itself. This is produced by Minichamps. So let's get the car out of the way and let's take a look at the packaging. Over here we have, at the bottom, the picture of asphalt with the start-finish line. And then we also have a metal plaque, Porsche 911, the 991 generation, GT3R of Manthey Racing with Ricard Leitz, Patrick Pillay, Frederic Makovecki, and Nick Tandy, 24 Hours of the Nurburgring 2018, number 489 out of 500. And then, of course, at the top, we have Manthey Grello, because that's the unofficial name of the color. And as I mentioned, produced by Minichamps. And then there you can see a million arrows. And then over here, more arrows. And then MantheyRacing.de, because it's a German team. And then under here, we got some information and all that fun stuff. Produced exclusively for Manthey Racing. So this is a Manthey exclusive, at least with this packaging. So let's go ahead and take a look at the car. Now this is a raced version of the 2018 winner. Now if you wonder why, it's not so much for a race, why there's not much bug splat and rubber and all that stuff on the car. Well, that is because they're with about 3 hours to go, there was a red flag. And under the 24 Hours of the Nurburgring rules, you can work on the car during a red flag. So they were able to fix some broken bodywork. They were able to clean the car, all that fun stuff. And then when the race restarted with about an hour and a half to go, first and foremost, it was wet. So the rubber's not going to stick to the car. And I mean, it was at a reduced pace anyways. So let's go ahead and take a look at this beautiful diecast produced by Minichamps. Again, I got this one at Gearheads here in Indianapolis, as I did with the R8. Fantastic place to get your diecast. They have a great variety of everything, IndyCar, NASCAR. As you can see, sports cars, new cars, old cars, any car. Go there because it's a fantastic place. Love Bob to death. Love going there. And I can't recommend that place enough. So let's go ahead and take a look at this car. And we're going to start at the front. So here on the front splitter, we have Manthey Racing. It does have carbon fiber texturing. Michelin, and then Bott and Schreier. And then Porsche Zentrum Wiesbaden, which literally means Porsche Center Wiesbaden, which is a city in Germany. So it's a Porsche dealer, I assume. This is a 2018 version, so it has the quad running light style headlights that Porsche has adopted on all their cars. This is the Evo version of this generation of the 991, or of the 911 GT3R. So it has updated headlights to the newer, brighter headlights, as well as aero modifications, including this little vent area up here. The front grille is perforated through. It's a piece of metal. And then we have Bilstein, which is one of the sponsors of the event. And the tow hook, your Porsche badge, just like all GT3 cars, there has to be a badge of the manufacturer on the car. And then 912, ADAC Nurburgring and Zurich, and the car number, and then some of the various text stickers and stuff that are attached to the number. Up on the windshield, we have the wiper, the Gran Turismo, the real driving sticker, or the real driving simulator, excuse me. And then we also have simulated stickers for the Terrace, which are green and yellow, or Grello. And that color scheme. And then we also have the LED panel. Now this one is not like the IMSA LED panel. This one has 3 spots because it shows the first 3 letters of the driver's last name so you can identify. Also, it does not show class position, it shows overall position, and obviously there's over 100 entrants. So say this car is running at 123rd overall but 20th in class, it's still going to show 123rd. And then if you're a top 30 qualifier, it flashes in blue. And then if you're in first position, it flashes all the time. Just a little heads up. We have twin diplanes here on the front. Let me readjust the focus. twin drive planes here in front because it has a more aggressive high downforce style for the Nurburgring, of course. We have the louvers here with Falcon Tire, which is a event sponsor, even though this car runs on Michelin's. It does run on Michelin dry tires. And then we have the little Michelin man running there behind. And then we have Mobile One, Paget, Stalick, K&W, and Bessa Group. But Bessa Group is kind of worn off. You do have little rubber markings and stuff right there. And then you have 912 with Zurich, ADAC, Nordrhein. And then MantheyRacing.de up here on the A-pillar. And then the driver's name of Ricard Leitz, Frederic Makovecki, Patrick Pillay, and Nick Tandy. And then here is the most evident sign that it's a race version with the tape on behind the door. I believe this car got clipped by another on this side during the early morning hours. And you can see kind of where the decaling's worn off here and rubber markings. And you can also see these silver fasteners here to kind of hold the bodywork together from where it was clipped, which is really kind of cool that they included that on this car. The fact the fasteners are there and present on this diecast is really, really neat. The 70th anniversary of Porsche Motorsport with 1948 to 2018. We have Schreier here on the rear fender. And then up top, we also have Schreier and Bott. And you can also see the escape hatch up top with a million different arrows running back. And you can see the antenna there. The Michelin tires look to have a little bit of a wash over them to give them a little bit of a weathered look to them, which is not a bad thing. There's a little bit of yellowing to them. And I did forget to mention that this car also does have steering. The interior, you do have a seat, a steering wheel, gauges and stuff. It's hard to see, but there's quite a bit of detail. And there is a little bit of a ventilation hole there. On the rear bumper, we got some aerodynamic bits leading to the rear diffuser with K&W, Michelin, Ricardo, BBS, and then Bott, Schreier, and Matsu Foods, Bilstein, your tail lights, and then also your rain indicator light and your twin exhaust out the back, and a tow hook there. On the rear wing, it does say Porsche really big across the rear wing. And then we got the 70th anniversary logo here for Porsche, and you can see all the different wing adjustment points that you have on this car. We have some more of that raced version detailing, like right here, little bits of rubber and stuff, and then here as well. The 912 logo nice and big across there. And yeah, underneath you do have some aerodynamic detailing, like underneath the front splitter. You do have what looks to be like a mini diffuser at the front of the car. And then back here you can see the diffuser from underneath. And then Porsche 911 GT3R inscribed on the bottom, as well as minichamps. Now, one interesting thing where this car is lacking in a detail is right here on this nozzle. So technically, this is inaccurate. It doesn't have the plug-in fueling system like the other races around the world. Actually, it has the pistol-style gas pump like you would have at any gas station here in the States. So that's kind of a standard thing for the Nurburgring, and they have a normal gas cap style filler or gas system. So basically you have to undo the gas cap and then plug in the pistol like you would at any gas station on any street car, which is very interesting to note. And as I proved in the Audi video, that actually saved the Audi Sport Team Lamb team 1 year prior. Also note these perforations here on the back are see-through, like it's actually perforated through, and you can see down through to the exhaust if you get in the right light. It's a little difficult too, but yeah. So this car, let's talk about this car. It won the 24 Hours of Nürburgring in 2018, obviously. It was really the 911's race, its sister car, that is primarily yellow. It was their race to win. However, they crashed out in the middle of the night, which led to battle down to one of the Mercedes and the 912. The 912 was handed a 5-minute stop and hold penalty, I believe, for a Code 60 violation in the early morning, or in the early afternoon hours of the race, or late morning hours of the race. And it also got a hole in the front bumper here. Then it also got hit by another car here in this section. Now, the red flag did come out a short time afterwards, which basically hit the reset button. They were about 2 minutes behind the Mercedes. However, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the red flag rules for the Nurburgring basically mean that you can work on the car. You can replace anything but the transmission casing and the engine block itself, and the chassis. So those are the three things that are off limits: is the transmission casing, the engine block, and the chassis itself. However, anything else you can replace. So they pretty much replaced the entire front end of the car because there's a big hole here on the front bumper, the hood was a bit damaged, and the fender was a little bit damaged. So they replaced this entire front of the car, and then they taped down and braced this area back here, which is evident on the diecast still. And then they sent basically a brand new car back out on the track. Now, because after a red flag at the Nurburgring, you basically restart the race like it's starting with 24 hours ago. 2x2 lined up, and basically if you're on the same lap as the leader, that gap is erased. Or if you're 1 lap and 5 minutes behind the leader, because it's a 10-minute lap around there, basically you're down to just 1 lap. You basically gain 5 minutes on the leader if it's red flagged and then restarts. So this car here, being only a couple minutes behind, had its margin from that 5-minute stop and hold penalty erased. And not too long afterwards, they were able to pass the Mercedes in the Grand Prix section of the Nordschleife, or the Grand Prix area of the Nürburgring, and they took the lead and they held on to it to the very end, which was the end of the race. They ended up winning, and it's a very popular win amongst Porsche fanatics as well. And it's also the one time that the 912 actually has done something in any series it's competed in. I mean, seriously, can you think of a time the 912 did anything in IMSA or the Blockpon series or anywhere else? I can't think of a time. Neither can you, because it never happened. So anyways, very cool car by Minichamps. I'm glad I got this one from Bob. Be sure to go check out Gearheads. And that's it for this review, guys. Thank you for watching. And as always, peace out.